Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's a wonderful place to be able to come and cool down a wee bit. Judaism is a religion in time, sunrise, sunset, creation, revelation. Everything turns on the sun and the moon. There is sanctity in these cycles, this logic that dictates our coming in and our going out. Evening and morning, ritual and rite, making order out of chaos. Shabbat is an island in time, unbroken, whole, sublime. While we hold Shabbat sacred, setting it apart, we are not absolved from mending this world. Please join us in singing Ma Yafeh Hayom on page 10. How lovely today is, Shabbat Shalom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
We now, it's, you know me and the way I like to, I don't know if you do. If you have come to services of mine before, you will find that I bring in lots of extra readings that will give you the time and the space just to listen. There's not a page or a paragraph to read with me. I will lead you in the prayer and just take it in any way you can. And this Shabbat time is a time for us to be. And when someone walks in this door and we grab hold of them, a lot of you probably know what that feels like. We ask them the first night they come in to please come up and light the Shabbat candles. And they say, yes, I would like to introduce the congregation to Rachel Shirey. She just moved here from Pennsylvania. Do me a favor. Read this over there and then come over and light.
Candle Lighting Prayer by Rabbi Deborah Smith. In the flickering light, you beckon us. In the candle's glow, we reach for you. In the busyness of the week, we often neglect you. We forget you. Yet you are eternally here with us. We return to you once again at the week's end. We sing your praises. We declare your oneness. We welcome the bride of Shabbat. We speak to you in whispers. We stare into the candle's growing flames. In that flickering light, you beckon us. In the glowing light, we reach for you. Together we enter the sanctuary of Shabbat.
And Rachel will light the shorter candles first to remind us of the hostages that are still under the helm of Hamas. and for our congregation. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you and welcome. Shabbos to you. You may sit down. Page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other. To work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life. Lecha Dodi on page 20. Here's another reading. Just listen. How good it is to sing praises in God's name, to declare loving kindness in the morning and faithfulness by night. These were the words sung by Adam and Eve after the first night, when darkness descended without warning or explanation, when they felt certainties slipping away and fearfulness encroaching on their dreams. But in the morning dawn broke, and in gratitude they sang this song in amazement as they woke to find that they were in the garden on that first Shabbat day. Soon they would learn the full glories of God's garden and the work to be done, the trimming back of wild thoughts that mistake others' silence for abandonment, the pruning of the myth that we do not have a choice, the weeding of overgrown traditions that need to be plucked. All this they would learn, but for now, a day of rest. Let this be my song for Shabbat. May the righteous flourish like a palm tree, grow like the cedar of Lebanon. In the house of God we shall flourish and we shall bear fruit. Even in old age, always vigorous and sturdy, always vigorous and sturdy. As we sing, to seek godliness is just, let it be my rock. Let me do no wrong. Sholom Aleichem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Hasharet, Aleichem Elyon, Melech Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malechei Hashalom, Malechei Elyon. Melech Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malechei Hashalom, Malechei Elyon. Melech Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitem leshalom, Malechei Hashalom, Malechei Elyon. Melech Malechei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 27, down at the very bottom. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. Please rise as we turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Instead of saying the Ma'ariv Aravim, I have a poem. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who created all order and separation, the continuum of time and space. This is this very real world and all its frailties. As day becomes night, let us take a breath of fragrant air and throw a handful of stars into the night sky so that we may dare to wonder. Let us thank you for giving us this gift of darkness so that we may find the little cracks and crevices where the light can creep in if we step aside long enough to create holy space. For you are within and without the first courageous act of creation, the glorious sound of our song and the embodiment of all of our sorrows. You set all the earth in motion just by willing it into being. And we, small and yearning, are tasked to embrace at once both the light and the dark. Shema Yisrael. You may be seated.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon thy heart. Shall be upon thy heart. And thou shalt preach them diligently unto thy children. And thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Please join us with Micha Mocha on page 40.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? La 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 la
Okay. Page 43. I was just looking at the page of music in my head, and it didn't stop there. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And as we have spoken so much about preparing for Shabbat, we are now going to sing about how we keep Shabbat. Please turn to page 44 for Vishamru. God has placed abilities and challenges in our hearts without regard to gender. Each of us has the duty, whether man or woman, to realize those gifts God has given us. As we rise and turn to page 46 for tefillah, we will then go to page 48, page 50, and 52.
Sefatai tiftach Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Hashtei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'nechem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umushia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayecha Kol Atah Rav Lechoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechakel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayecha Kol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayehem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Memihi Tumechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata lechayotato, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol, Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yechalelu chasala, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. Page 59. As we enter the silent meditation portion of this service, we just need to be reminded of God. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustained us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lechodot. We will now have some moment of silence.
On page 62, if on the bottom, if you would like to follow and sing with me.
Adonai tsuri ve'goali. והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Before we give our prayers to the people in our congregation who may be in need of healing, we offer a prayer for the hostages. Holy One of blessing, source of life, rock and redeemer of Israel, as the psalmist said, be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in time of trouble. Send deliverance and redemption to those who are held in captivity. Strengthen their spirits and help them to know that we are praying for them. Implant understanding and a desire for peace in the hearts of those who hold them, that they may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to those who fight for their return, that they may secure their freedom without loss of life. Until that time, grant comfort and courage to their loved ones who wait and worry for their well-being. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the children of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, and lead us all on a path of freedom and peace. For as the prophet of Zechariah said, for from the seed of peace the vine shall produce its fruit, the land shall produce its yield, the skies shall provide dew. I will bestow all these upon you, and you shall be a blessing. Have no fear, and let us say, Amen. And if we turn to page 253. And as a congregation, pray for the healing for Lloyd Crapin, Dr. Branch Craig, Nancy Kedan, and Scott Stevens. And as I pass my hand over the congregation, if you have the name of a loved one or a friend who is in need of healing, say out their names.
Come and say that in her family.
Bill Burkett, Cindy Cohen, Richard Harris.
May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say,
Amen.
Amen. Misha Berach. Couple of decades ago, at least, right? How old are you? 20. a young man was born into this congregation. It has been my privilege to have known him since he was a little one, not this little, but little one, and have watched him grow into an unbelievable human being. So proud of him and his achievements so far. I would like you all to welcome home, because he's home after graduating college, to wait out to see what kind of forward motion will happen in the future. Andrew Cabrera, please come on up and share. There. Huh? 3 years. Yes.
Shabbat Shalom. This week, we read oh boy.
You can just slow down.
We'll start over, okay. This week, we read Parsha Naso in the book of Numbers. When I first began delving into this Parsha, I was a little bummed to find out that the title, Naso, translates in English to take a census, far from the most thrilling topic. So, you can imagine my surprise when I learned that this Parsha contains origins for some of the most famous and infamous rituals in the history of Judaism. One of those rituals, listed at the very end, is the priestly blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. This blessing is recited on numerous occasions, ranging from baby namings to bar and bat mitzvahs to confirmations like the one our temple celebrated 2 weeks ago. Today, it can be uttered by rabbis, parents, friends, and family alike. However, when it first originated, this prayer could only be recited by Aaron and his Cohenite ancestors. And for years in the past, and even now in the present for more traditional denominations, this prayer is only allowed to be recited by those who claim to be descendants of the Cohenites. The Cohenite leaves the sanctuary to remove their shoes and wash their hands before returning to the sanctuary, covering their face with the talit to prevent ordinary people from gazing upon the face of a Cohenite, raising their hand in the shape of a shin. Fun fact, this was actually the symbol behind the inspiration behind the famous Star Trek symbol, and they utter the blessing. Despite its hierarchical roots, this prayer also carries with it many lessons of equality and equity. First, this parsha makes it very clear that it doesn't approve of any priestly superiority. God prefaces the prayer with the words, "Thus shall you bless the people Israel," a commandment that makes it clear priests were meant to repeat the blessing word for word rather than use their station to add to it or reinterpret it as they saw fit. In fact, one interpretation suggests that 2 of Aaron's sons were punished by death just for adding an extra line to the blessing. Additionally, God concludes the prayer by saying, "And I will bless them," making it explicit that it is God, not the priest, who is doing the blessing. In this way, the Torah makes it clear that the Cohenites are not granted any sort of superior station or powers, but instead are simply the vessels of God's words and blessings. Next, the Talmud spends plenty of time discussing this parsha and the priestly blessing, and one of the things it discusses in detail is who the priestly blessing actually applies to. According to Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, the priestly benediction actually applies to everyone who is in front of the priest when the blessing is given, even if they aren't even inside the synagogue, and even if they are far away working in the fields. The blessing still applies to them. The Gemara elaborated that those who are working in the fields are compelled to do so and are therefore unable to take part in the service due to outside circumstances. Through this ruling, Judaism exhibits a profound self-awareness in recognizing that at the end of the day, people have other stuff going on, stuff outside of their control, and that those responsibilities don't make you more or less worthy. In this ruling, we are all equals in the eyes of God, and whether or not we are taking part in the worship or not, we are all equally worthy of the priestly blessing. Finally, I want to compare the Cohenite requirement, which has faded from our service, with the minyan, a requirement which still remains in many synagogues and temples, and even when it isn't a formal requirement, it still remains an important cultural touchstone of Judaism. For those who don't know, the minyan is the requirement that prayer services must contain a minimum of 10 Jews. Even today, rituals like the Mourner's Kaddish, Barechu, Kedusha, and the Amidah all require that a minyan be present, especially in more traditional Jewish services. Most important for our purposes, the priestly blessing is one of the rituals that requires a minyan. Even as we recognize that a central figurehead bestowed special privileges from their lineage is not necessary, we still require that worshipers only give such an important blessing when in the presence of others. The minyan has always been a point of pride for me as I engage with my Judaism. To me, the minyan requirement exists to recognize that involving oneself in the wider community is not just an option, but a requirement. It recognizes that one of the greatest forms of reverence and worship one can exhibit is support and camaraderie towards their peers. At the end of the day, community is a holy thing. Having recently graduated college, the one thing I have learned through my studies time and time again is that community is what lies at the center of the human experience. Millions of years ago, community was essential for our survival from an evolutionary perspective. More recently, in the age of civilization, the ability to rely on community and the support and care of others, whether it be a family, a community, or a cultural group, was necessary in order to survive, something we as Jews know all too well. And today, even as we have the privilege of living in safety and comfort, community is still necessary for the health of our soul and the self-actualization of our lives. Through the minyan, we as a religion and as a people recognize that our strength lies not in looking forward to a single supreme figurehead, but instead in looking side to side to recognize our fellow community members. This is the lesson I plan to carry with me my entire life. Even as I struggle to decide what my next steps will be, the one thing I know for sure is that I want to work with communities. I want to engage with them, serve them, foster them, and ingrain myself within them, because at the end of the day, I know that if I am serving communities, I am serving the core of humanity itself. I want to wrap up this spiel by going back to the name of the parsha, Naso. As I said before, Naso translates to take a census. This is in reference to the beginning of the parsha, a continuation of the story up to this point in the beginning of Numbers, where Moses is taking a census of all the different Hebrew families. No matter which family the people belonged to, everyone was counted in the census. But on top of take a census, Naso also means lift up. Whether you want to call it poetry, irony, or both, the portion that gives us one of the most hierarchical rituals in our religion also wisely notes that the lifting up of the Jewish people does not lie in one figurehead or even one lineage, but in counting everyone. It lies in our numbers, in our equality in the eyes of God. Above all else, it lies in our acknowledgement of our community. Shabbat shalom.
You understand this kid's neshama now? Even when he was in third grade, he was showing it. Oh. Let's all stand and turn to page 5 for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'ratzavanu, v'shalat kodshro, ve'ahava uvratzon.
and turn to page 282 for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit k'tulah v'yoseh bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyeh haratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishlochot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kachem, ve'lo rameinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachachim u'modim, livnei melech, malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom ahu, yiheh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. We are on page 289. The light of life is an infinite flame. Like the Sabbath candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades. Its substance is consumed and is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. In the flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There's no end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. As we remember our loved ones, and you have someone, a family or a friend, who you want to say Kaddish for, please rise if you are able, as I read their names. For the Shloshim, those who have passed in the last 30 days, we remember Marion Dawson Shanefield, Hortensia Garcia, Garrett Park Jr., and Stanley Blogren. And for those who passed years ago, we remember Joseph Amstetter, Oscar Baca, Golda Baker, Lizzie Belford, Richard Bischoff, Jeffrey Denber, Abraham Ettinger, Arlene Friedman, Milton Max Friedman, Benjamin Goldman, Rosalind Lessem Hyman, Barnett Horowitz, Louis Horowitz, Martha Kahn, Robert Karch, Jean Korf Lawrence, Sadie Lefkowitz, Max Levine, Samuel Manessi, Mildred Marcus, Burton Mirup, Ida Novick, M. Travis Payton, Etta Packer Rose, Sam Rosenwasser, Maria Vasquez Sines, Iris Axelrod Sourmilk, Minna Schaefer, Judy Schwartz, Alberto Treviso. Is there anyone who has another name? Any names for Kaddish? Let us all join as we rise and read the Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach le'olom u'olmei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vieta dar, vieta le, vieta lal, shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nechemata, da'amiram di'ama v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mrumav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, that may their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated.
Yaseh shalom,
Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh shalom,
shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. I would like to call my sister up to give us the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Since this is my last BEMA assignment, I'm going off the board of trustees of Temple Mount Sinai. I would like to thank Vladik for greeting us when we came in, and Alan Krasny for being the past president. Mindy and Dario, thank you so much for your beautiful music. And Ellen, Nita, I call her Nita, thank you for bringing your skills and beauty to the service. And I just need to say, Andrew, you make me so proud. I know you make your parents proud. You are part of this community, and you will always be part of this community. And Temple is very proud of what you've done so far, and your sister also is very involved in our community. And we look forward to your coming back to teach us many times. Maybe you can be a rabbi.
Maybe what?
I looked at Katie, and she was like, yeah, rabbi. I'd like to thank our Shabbat sponsors, the Krasny Discretionary Fund for lovely oneg before services, Bob Novick in memory of Ida Novick, Mindy Dember in memory of Jeffrey Hal Dember, Susie May in memory of Jody Schwartz, and Jan Wolf and Chester Frame in memory of Arlene Friedman. Coming up activities tomorrow morning, Alan Krasny is leading Torah study. On Thursday, singing in the summer with Shir Hadash. It's a lot of fun and a great way to just be in community and making beautiful music and learning about rhythm and its titas and tiki-tikis and all sorts of stuff. Save the date for June 25th, dinner and dialogue with Western Hills United Methodist Church at La Madeleine at 6:30. And there will be a Havdalah in the Hood on July 20th. And information on RSVPing is in the weekly email, which you should continually check, because it provides additional information about our upcoming events. Again, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, Andrew. You are a light.
Please turn to page 340.
30.
Oh, I'm sorry, 330. For my, Ki Shmera Shabbat. Please join us, please rise.
Ki Shmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Ki Shmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni. Oti le'ol me'at, beino ve'li.
please join us for blessings over in Zelanka. Shabbat Shalom.